relating to the path of yoga of Master CVV to conclude the December call talk relating to the Master and his yoga. As we ardently conduct the prayer, the first work that happens within us is the work of the swan according to the Master. He calls the swas in us is the swan. The swas is the swan and the swan is made active. As the swan of pulsation and respiration becomes active, and when the prayers regularly happen, there is effective breathing that happens in us, very effective breathing. Such an effective breathing that it brings in plenty of prana through the Hitu center of the Master within us. The Master is in charge of plenty of prana because he has taken control of the origin of prana. And hence he can supply prana as we are oriented to it. As much prana is supplied into the body, so much you get energized. As much energy as you receive into your body through respiration and through attunement to pulsation, all the 5 pulsations in us, they get into a kind of an activity of equilibrium and are fully charged with the pranic force. The consequence of the work relating to the breathing and the pulsation in us is what Master calls as specificity. He gives some very interesting names to the happenings within us. He calls it specificity. Specificity is the result of the plenty of prana working in the system. So the first step is establishment of pranic principle. That is why it is also said that the Master first treats the prana and then commences yoga in us. Prana treat, yoga teach. Similarly, Jesus said 2000 years ago, heal the sick, teach the gospel. Every true teacher first heals the system, thereby cleanses the system and ensures that there is plenty of prana that is established in the students. And that is the first step, plenty of prana. The second step, as a consequence of plenty of prana, is called specificity by the Master. By specificity he means accomplishment of 3 things in the student. First is minimum sleep and light sleep. Minimum sleep and light sleep. The body is fully charged with the life force and hence it doesn't get into sleep as much as an inert person sleeps, as much as a lazy person sleeps, as much as a person with heavy tissues in the body sleeps. Until plenty of prana is established in the student, he would even suffer giddiness, he says. This giddiness relates to falling asleep during prayer, falling asleep during the classes that are taught. When wisdom is being imparted, many students get sleep. This is because the body cells carry certain tamas. Consequently, sleep comes when there is a deep wisdom that is transmitted. There is sleep when there is deep energies that are profound energies that are transmitted by the Master during prayer. the master says the sleep gets to minimum and the sleep becomes light in the sense. Even when you sleep, if some little noise happens around, you are awake, meaning you are sleeping and not sleeping. This is the state in which a yogi is expected to be alert, to get into the etheric existence. So he says specificity means minimum sleep, light sleep, minimum food, light food, and minimum drink. Truth, pipasa. This is how we see in our scriptures. The thirst, the hunger is reduced. Why? Because there is plenty of prana. When there is plenty of prana in you, and when you are fully energized, you don't have to eat so much as we eat now. We don't have to drink as much as we drink now. The thirst of the body and the hunger of the body gradually gets reduced when there is more fire of vitality in you. Don't try to reduce by yourself. That's not the right path. Try to increase your profundity in prayers and try to give more time for prayers. The master works it out from inside. Abstaining from food when you are hungry is contrary to yoga. Abstaining to drink water when you are thirsty is contrary to yoga. The other way doesn't work. Fasting is not a practice of not eating. Fasting is a practice by which you are attuned with the divine and consequently you don't feel the hunger. That's how fasting is to be. That's how Jesus fasted 40 days. By complete attunement with the divine, he was self-forgetful. He did not eat, he did not drink. But following that practice, if people stop eating, stop drinking, they have consequences. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, when he got attuned into the love of the mother, many times he was forgetful of himself. Even while worshipping in the temple, he was getting into a trance. Even while meditating, he was getting into a trance. Consequently, he was not eating, not drinking. Not eating, not drinking on account of complete attunement with the divine is different from attunement with the divine and consequently you are not eating. Consequently you are not drinking. That is how it has to be. Don't work out the contrary. Just because I said now, to feel great about yourself, if you stop drinking even when you are thirsty, if you stop eating even while you are hungry, if you stop sleeping when you are getting the sleep, it makes no sense. It has consequences. The other way is increase your depths in prayer. Make your prayer very regular. Then from within the specificity is worked out. Specificity is defined by the master as minimum sleep, minimum food, minimum drink, meaning minimum requirements. With the minimum requirements, the body is willing to work with great energy because it is filled with plenty of prana. So plenty of prana followed by specificity. And then the third step he gives is pure love. They are all peace. Plenty of prana, specificity, pure love. He says, whenever we start a game, we say love all, isn't it? And somewhere on the way we don't love the one who is playing on the other side of the court. Love all, we say, and then we start. That's a message. When we say love all, love does not mean zero. Many people think what is love means there still no points are gained, that is love. That's not love. Love all means all those who are involved in the game need to love each other while they are at work. So, as far as possible, see if you can love people. You cannot love people as such. It's very difficult to love people whom you don't like. How to love? Further, the master gives the clue, see me in all. It's an ancient dictum. To see the one in all, that is called Vishnu Upasana, Vasudeva Upasana. Regardless their behavior, just to see the divine in them. Only then love flows from you. Love flows when there is the thought of divine entertained in you. Love ceases to flow when the thought of divine disappears. And he says pure love is one practice that you need to do, and see that you eliminate units of consciousness or persons whom you don't love. Eliminate means eliminate you are not liking them. That's important. Eliminate you are not liking them. That is where he gave that statement, enemies, beware of yourself. More enemies means there is something wrong with you. There are people who think that everyone around him is undesirable to him. They are lonely people. They cannot enjoy the presence of others. Why? Because there is no love flowing. When love flows, communication flows. When love flows, joy flows. And for love to flow, the only clue is to see the divine in others. Do not see their behavior, see the divine, which is a very difficult practice. But nevertheless, Bhagavata suggests the same practice. Bhagavad Gita suggests the same practice. Patanjali suggests the same practice. Ishvara pranidhana dva, like that he says. So this Ishvara pranidhana means to surrender to the Ishvara that is around you and in you. To see him and feel it is all his play, only then love can generate in you. Nee leelalu teliyaga matarama, like this there are songs. It's all the Lord's play through beings, and the beings play with their own illusions, but the one behind them is the Lord. This understanding is common in all practices. You find it in all scriptures. Same thing Jesus says as love thy neighbor. I don't have to speak much about it because we have heard enough of it, and it is little practiced by us. Little practice means not practiced. A little practice means somewhat practiced. In English, when we say it is little done, means not done. A little done, something is done. So, plenty of prana followed by pacificity, followed by pure love. This enables a free flow of energies in you. That is important. Don't think you are doing a big job by extending the thought of love towards others. You are causing free flow of energies in you, which would cause a kind of auto-healing. Otherwise, there are blockages in us. People who have lot of opinions, especially negative opinions about others, are the ones who suffer most in them, because there are so many blockages. The blockages are so many that they suffocate. It is like a throat choking because of dislike of people around them. Out of dislike comes discord, and when discord comes, the person is lost. It's very difficult to recover them. And hence the Master says, if you wish to follow the path of yoga that I enunciate, you must make it a point to see me in all, so that love generates. When you see me in all, you would have friends but not enemies. This is yoga school friends society, isn't it? So friendliness is the other name for love. Friendliness is the other name for love. It's a transmission of a loving thought towards other. And any action done with such love is called goodwill. Master Jwalkul calls goodwill as love in action. You do an act of goodwill out of love. So this act of goodwill shall have to be entertained in all walks of life. That would produce the necessary love. And see that those whom you really do not like, you have to make a list of them and specifically make exercise to see the master in them. You have to specifically make exercise to see the master in them whom you do not like. That is master's instruction. See the master in them. The more and more you see the master in them, you find it totally different. It's all your illusion. Arising out of your own feeling that you have generated, which has put you into a glamour by which you see what is not there. That is how we call in the old scriptures as Rajju Sarpa Bhranti. It's only a thread, but it looks like a snake. Many people seem to be not liking you. That is how one feels. But it is not true. It is you that does not like, that do not like others, which is reflected to you as your mirror image that others do not like you. So he says, do this as a practice to see me in all. Thereby there is the flow of the energy of love. That's what he calls pure love. When pure love becomes a normal activity with you, you get the pure memory, he says. It's all P. Plenty of prana, pacificity, pure love, pure memory. This pure memory is the memory which he would develop to the extent of carrying it beyond one incarnation. That is immortality. Pure memory. Forgetfulness is contrary to it. When you have pure memory, you remember the right thing at the right time. You don't have to carry all that in your mind. It is in the storehouse. At the right moment, it appears on the mind's slate. Forgetfulness is contrary to it. That's why those who are forgetful are required to do greater effort in terms of prayer. Prayer makes you less and less forgetful, more and more timely in your recollection. See what happened to Karna. At the right moment, the astra does not occur to him. To Arjuna, it occurs at the right moment. To occur the right thought at the right moment. What a bliss it is, what a boon it is, what a blessing it is. Always saying like this is no good. I forgot. Today, somehow in the community, you find many who are forgetful. They are very forgetful. This forgetfulness is a danger. This forgetfulness is also associated with sleep. They are twins. One supports the other. Those who are more sleepy are more forgetful. So pure memory comes through pure love. Pure love comes through pacificity. And pacificity comes through plenty of prana. These are all the steps that he gives. Then you land yourself in merry life, he says. That's the fifth step, which Patanjali calls it as santosha. That means you are generally cheerful. Your disposition is a cheerful disposition. It does not mean that you keep smiling out of place. You are generally disposed in a humorous way, and you are in full memory of things, and you carry the energy of love. These are all things which are the measures by which you would know for yourself that you are in the path of yoga. That's how the Master says it. Nobody need to tell us that you have accomplished something in yoga. If you carry these qualities in you, it means you are progressing. In terms of these, you have to measure yourself. That's how the master says. So these are the 5. So when these things are accomplished on one side, on the other side, as I said yesterday, the body is put to so many transformations. And the master fixes you in space. That is what he calls specifics. Specifics means space fixed. Within you there is space. In that space he fixes your mold in accordance with your form. This is what is given in Upanishads as Angushta Matra Purusha. The Upanishads speaks of yoga practice by which the yoga student in advanced states visualizes himself in a miniature form in the size of one's own thumb, and that form is full of light. That light form is the etheric form. So he fixes you in your own form in that etheric light, meaning it is like a transparent. Now you see in many English movies these etheric forms. Their imagination is far better than Indians. We stopped imagining. We only live in the past. We do not imagine, we do not visualize. We lost all those capabilities. But today in the English movies you see many things which are true in relation to yoga and the subtle existence. So you would move into ether, which I was telling you about Ramana Maharshi. One sees himself in this miniature form. That is the form with which Hanuman enters Lanka. In a Sushma Rupa he enters. So this form initially is of ether is of light, because ether means Akasha. Akasha means, Kash means Velugu, illumined. Kash means illumined. Akash means illumined all around. Is Akash. Akash, Vikash, Prakash, all Kash is Kashi. Kashi means a place of light for those who can see. For those who cannot see, it's a place of dirt, isn't it? But it is Kashi, meaning embodiment of Kash. Kash means illumination. So such illumined figure relating to you, the master fixes, meaning he is working for you as you do the practices which he suggests. And the chief practice is prayer. So when you start seeing the miniature form which he fixes, then a lot of work is done. That is what he intends to accomplish. That is what Masterika writes in a small stanza. Sushmadeham amaratvamu sadhinchi jeevulalo grahagathulanu chakka chesi. Then what happens? See, for all the small sentences coming from the masters, they carry great message. The great volumes of commentaries that they speak may contain a small message. This is another truth relating to the great masters. Where they make elaborate commentaries, the truth is a little. In the sense, it can be summed up into a sentence. Where they make one sentence, it speaks volumes. Parama Guru avatarincha CVV కుంభకోణ పట్టణాన జనయించి కుంభరాశి చంద్రుడుగా దిగువచ్చి కుంభయుగము చైతన్యము విప్పార రాజయోగ మార్గమునందించే. Like that there is a song. And in the second step he says, సూక్ష్మదేహం అమరత్వము సాధించి జీవులలో గ్రహగతులను చక్కచేసి. Like that it is there. ఆధ్యాత్మిక సోదరత్వం అలవరచి. So like that song is complete explanation of the yoga of Master CVV according to me. So what is he doing? He fixes in the etheric and He is trying to give reincarnation through this etheric form, not going up to the causal body. That is where the karma neutralization theory comes. The karma neutralization which Master CVV proposes is by fixing you up in the etheric and not letting it to dissolve as you die, so that you would return into body consciously with this etheric form, with the practice of yoga which you would continue. This is what he speaks of physical immortality, because ether is also physical, subtle physical. So he fixes you in this physical immortality and lets you progress thereafter, and your karma is somewhere it gets slowly dissipated because it's not you are not responding to it. By this, he says, he grants independence to you. That is the independence he speaks of. Independence from your past karma. I will neutralize that karma in a very peculiar way. But you would continue in the etheric form for future lives, and these are the ones who would gradually gain the capacity to be born at will with the help of etheric form. That is his plan. So this plan he intends to accomplish for us, because he can separate from our body of flesh and blood the etheric and fix it. That is his work. He fixed it like that in his experiments. That I will let you know. I told you that I speak of the 5 experiments that the Master did. One experiment is with himself. He delinked with his physical. He took to his etheric and then to causal and then moved upwards and then went to the source of prana and realized that this prana comes more from the Brahman than from the nature. And he directly brought it down, and thereby he accomplished control over pranic forces. As a consequence, he could bring back to life those who are dead. He could himself come back to life when he was considered dead 18 times. One time it is shown in Shirdi Sai's movie. But the Master did it 18 times just to demonstrate to his disciples. They say, you check me up after 5 minutes if I am dead or alive. They confirm he is dead, then he comes back 18 times. That's an experiment. Then when he wanted to conduct experiment with the help of another high soul, who is called Saguna Brahma, who is referred to as Chandu in the books, he is Saguna Brahma. When he is invoked by the Master to cooperate for work, to provide him the body, he did many experiments. With the help of the Kundalini energy of the lady Srimati Venkama, he allowed the fetus to grow and prepare the body without the spirit of Chandu associating with it, which is not possible. That means he did not let Chandu get involved with what is growing in the womb, because when it gets into the womb while it is being prepared, it gets involved. Same thing was done when Lord Krishna came into the body. That you can read in Purana Purusha. You can read in Bhagavata. That he remained, and then in the womb of the mother, the whole body is prepared, and he imposed himself upon it. He appeared to Vasudeva and said, now I impose, as the lady delivers the body, take me to Repale. That's how it is. So the parents see the Lord before he imposes himself on the baby. That is possible only if you know how to de-link the etheric form with the physical. This is an experiment he did, and therefore Chandu could remain unaffected by the body, physical and other bodies, and he could use his etheric vehicle to conduct experiments in the supracosmic plane and get information and pass on lot of information about how to conduct this yoga. And then he did similar thing with his lady. He used to separate Srimati Venkama's etheric from her body and then send it into higher planes to collect information. This is possible for an yogeshwara, not even a yogi. He may do it for himself, to do it for others. It requires tremendous accomplishment. Frequently he used to de-link her etheric from the physical and then set it on flight to higher planes and collect information. That's another experiment he has done. Third experiment is to make the child, the month-old baby, to speak knowledge to him. Is it possible? The month-old child, Chandu, speaks tremendous knowledge to the master, and they are engaged in a kind of question-answer session throughout the night, speaking so many things. The mother used to see from the window and get surprised. What are they talking? With a month-old baby in his lap, they used to talk to each other. Can he speak? But he was speaking. And from time to time, he used to get pots of buttermilk. The mother Venkama was getting surprised. What is it that he does with buttermilk? He was taking the buttermilk himself and also giving it to the baby. The baby and the master together, they were drinking pots of buttermilk. And many times the mother have seen many great beings coming to them and discussing things with them. So these are the things that he has done. And similarly, he worked with a disciple called Sundaram. He could de-link his etheric from the physical and then set him on flights and collect information. And then another experiment he did. Whenever someone comes for initiation, he used to send this either Venkama or the Sundaram into higher planes and collect all karma information relating to the fellow who is getting initiated. And make note, complete notes of it. And accordingly initiate him and see that the karma is de-linked. Like that he worked. These are all the experiments which can be done only by a superhuman but not by a human. So such was the work of the master. As far as we are concerned, he volunteers to give us an immortal body, provided we follow the path of prayer. The master himself says that it is not first time that he worked by shifting the center from nature to Brahman. Even Lord Krishna did the same, he says. Lord Krishna was the one who said, look to me for all, instead of looking through the paths of evolution. That is a direct line. There are 35 slokas in Bhagavad Gita scattered over all the chapters where the Lord gives knowledge and also a path of evolution. But at the end of it, he concludes saying, forget about all that, look to me. Surrender to me. See me in all. Make me your goal. Like this he speaks. So Master CVV says, Krishna gave this yoga and it got confused. It's about time that it should be given back. That is how he, like Lord Krishna, who is Jagat Guru, the world teacher, Master CVV is a world teacher. And now he does this in general to humanity also. That is the beauty. He does it in general to humanity. He is trying to fix the humans in their etheric. and ensure that they get more etheric experiences than physical experiences. In the West, this was accomplished through war. Through war. The bodies of Europeans especially were deeply put to effect through war. They went through the experience of death and the horror of death, and consequently their bodies have become sensitive. They are more sensitive to subtle energies than other bodies which have not experienced this war. This is written by Master Jalkul in his books. An average European is more sensitive to the ambience than an Asian. Asian has other strengths, but when it comes to sensibility, they have it. And to them, etheric experience is being granted by Master CVV in the scheme of things to uplift this humanity into etheric plane. That's where a lot of innovations are happening in the West ever since the advent of 20th century. Many things from the subtle are manifesting in the grass, and many things from the grass are getting demanifested into etheric. All this electronics and computer science has come to us from the West. And through computer we have learned to dematerialize. It's dematerialization. That is what is called demat today. So there is not much material, all is in the ether. The e-ticket, you don't see the ticket, but the ticket is there. Like that you have share certificate in the etheric form. Everything in etheric form, correspondence in etheric form, isn't it? Electronic form. Many post offices in the West are closed because there is no need for postal work. It is done at a higher plane. The postal work is done at higher plane. The transmission is faster and there is no material. A mail comes, you reply the mail, nothing appears on the paper. All is preserved. Even huge records are preserved in smallest chips. This is all the work. Don't think he is only working with individuals. He said, sitting in Kumbhakonam, I am spreading this energy all over the planet. I am spreading it into minerals, into plants, into animals, into humans, generally all around the globe. And hence you cannot imagine the total dimension of the work at hand. And he is the one who predicted that man flies soon. When people were jubilant in his time that they invented aircraft, he said, oh, aircrafts, they go away after some time because man himself flies. So these are all possibilities which cannot be even imagined in the last century. But today it is a possibility. The computers have changed the whole perspective of life. The electronics have totally changed the perspective of life. You would not have so many books as we have now. Because all books are in the etheric form, electronic form. Now you can see when the CS said everything is in Akasha, and you can read. When you have gained the etheric vision, you can read Akashic records. That's how Madame Blavatsky says in Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled. So the Lipikas, whom we call, they are all over there. Everything uttered, everything done is recorded. That's why in the past they never believed in recording, because it is recorded. When Jesus Christ spoke profound knowledge, when the disciples could not follow, they wanted him to repeat. He said, it's not necessary, it is already recorded. It will come back when it is ripe, it will come back. So like that, more and more we stop recording. Why? Because it is recorded. And you can, just like now you recover from the chip, it can be ultimately recovered from the ether. All the scientific progress that the humanity is making is due to the visit of energy of Uranus onto this planet and into the brains of man. Man's brain is becoming more and more electric. It's not that old brain that keeps thinking and thinking and thinking before it comes to a solution. It just comes like a flash, like a lightning. That is what is electric hint. It just comes like a flash because Uranus is a brain besides the brain. Way back in the last leg of 19th century, Alan Leo wrote about Uranus, where he says, this planet, we are informed, provides a brain besides the brain which is electrical. So then and there it occurs and then it happens. You are not pre-informed. Sometimes it happens through you and later you get informed. That is what is called intuition. Many times when the great masters work with intuition, people around do not understand why he did so. Even the one who did also cannot say anything. Only in retrospect, the related logic is developed. So for any decision, reasoning was the basis before. But now with the functioning of Uranus, the event happens and the reasoning is developed for it. That's how it is. Logic follows intuition. And logical people do not catch up to intuition. Logic is the habit of the old mind. You see how the children today flash out certain statements that put us to surprise. Their ability to grasp, their ability to speak, many things relating to the New Age children is all Aquarian. This is because the Master said, ever since the advent of this energy, there is the improvement caused to the human bodies. That is where the agreement with Manu is. He entered into a lot of agreements. He made so many agreements with so many beings, so many planets. Agreements means making them work in tune with this energy because it comes from the Most High. The agreement with Manu is to utilize this energy and provide it each time people are incarnated. People who are born before the Second World War are different from the people who are born after the Second World War in terms of the quality of the body. That means pre-45, post-45, the bodies are different. Then again, pre-62, post-62, the bodies are different. They are getting more and more evolved. In olden days, this kind of knowledge is for the old people, isn't it? ఇప్పుడే ఎందుకురా 40 ఏళ్ళ తర్వాత చూద్దాం అనేవాళ్ళు. Today you see how many youngsters are interested in it. Because the bodies are attuned to grasp subtle things. And then from 62 to next nodal point is 72. The bodies that are born after 72 are superior to the bodies that are born before 72. And the bodies that are given birth to after 76 are still better than those that are given birth before. And the bodies that are given birth to after 88, it is called harmonious convergence. The year of harmonious convergence. Because by that time there is also the second visit of Halley comet in the year 86 and 87. So the bodies that came through from 88 are still different. Like that, with the Uranus passing through each sun sign, there are different evolutions that are happening and more refined bodies are coming through. This is relating to the work of the Master. This is how he intends lifting up the humanity. May the avatar of synthesis, who is to come, this who is to come was there in 45, because this was given by Master Jwalkur. But the truth is, he is already here and he is working. For want of some, it needs to be substituted, because in the West also, our brothers say, substitute this with today's reality. May he lift up the earth. He would lift up this earth, he would lift up this humanity. That is the work for which he has come. If you wish to know about Master CVV in the books of Master Jwalkur, all that is written in the name of avatar of synthesis is just relating to what the work of Master CVV is. All that Master Jwalkur wrote about death is relating to the work of Master CVV. All that Master Jwalkur wrote about the system of Sirius and then the constellation of Regulus is in relation to the work of Master CVV. This is how you can see, because the Masters, when they speak, they do not speak in obvious terms, they speak in subtle terms, and we need to understand. Most of the statements that are given by Master Jwalkur in relation to these captions, they suit mutatis mutandis with the statements given by Master CVV. Master CVV said that there would be no death on this planet after 240 years. Master Jwalkur says the same thing about death. After 200 years, there will be no more death on the planet. Meaning, the whole thing is lifted up. It looks to be a fiction today, but then, today we are in such a position that a century's evolution is happening in a period of less than a decade. From 1990s to 2000, in that 10 years, we have covered 100 years progress compared to last 100 years. And now we are every 5 years covering greater time. Time is gained, speed is gained. Time expands, speed gained. This is how the Master is working. And hence the Master is not only for those who invoke him, the Master is for the planet. The Master is for the humanity. The Master is for all kingdoms relating to this planet. That is mineral, plant, animal and human. That's what he said. By giving the prayer during morning hours in Kumbakonam, he transmitted the energy not only to those very handful who are sitting before him, he transmitted them all over the planet. And he lives in the ether around the planet. And he is ready to manifest by invocation. Such is his availability. The availability of the Master is something which we cannot imagine. Only thing is, by just recollecting him, the presence comes. Because it is an all-permeating energy. That is how the Master is working, and consciously or unconsciously we are into it. So we try to gain more information about the yoga only to inform the mind. The information is for the mind. But the prayer relates to your aspiration, your inspiration, your devotion and your love for the Master. By that, all this knowledge will come to you. Where from this knowledge has come? To me, only through prayer. He gives the link up, he synthesizes, and from within it happens. It looks as though you have done it. Whether you have done or he graced, it means the same, because it is by grace you work, or by work you receive the grace. It is like, is the seed before or the tree before? Master E.K. writes in the 4th volume of Bhagavata that it is childish to ask, is it the grace that works or is it the Purusha Prayatna? Purusha Prayatna and Daivanugraha, they are two sides of one coin, one means the other. That's how Master E.K. speaks of. So it comes to us through prayer. All this knowledge, this synthesis comes to us through prayer, prayer which would cause expansion of consciousness in you, unfoldment of mind's layer to invite the Buddhic presence, and that is how the supramental is experienced. Supramental, which is propounded by Sri Aurobindo, is but a part of the yoga of Master C.V. So such is, by this I am not trying to say that our master is great, others are not. That's not the path. That's not the purpose. Just to show the master whom you follow has such a dimension that you cannot comprehend. Remember what Master E.K. said about Master C.V.V., which I spoke to you in the morning. That is such a big energy, and it's enough if we just invoke him and then follow what comes from within your conscience. Follow that which comes from your conscience. That's how you are made independent by your direct link with the Master. And then you keep working out that one. It works. So may you all be blessed in those lines, and let us get more and more into the energy of Master, so that the Master enters into us deeper and works out what he plans to work out for our benefit. Thanking you one and all, I close this session with this 15 minutes talk, because this means one capsule of information in itself relating to the path of the yoga path of Master C.V.V. Now we may get to the next program, which is called cultural program. Thank you, Namaskar.